Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and it's Tuesday. So, welcome to Stories and Stamps. My story today, I'm going to weave it in with stamping, of course. It's a little bit about trying to have a Canadian Thanksgiving in the Netherlands and the challenges that that presents. I have a lot of things that I want to share with you today, and I might be making a lot of cards. It might be as many as 5 cards, which is a little bit unusual. But I wanted to show you the versatility of this one stamp set and these dies and the paper. So there's a lot going on, and I always like learning from other people's mistakes and experiences. So I have a few to share with you. So stay with me. I would also greatly appreciate it if you took the time to comment on the video and hit that red subscribe button so that you don't miss me. All right, so I'm going to switch it to here. So I used these stamp sets. The Brightest Glow. That was one of the stamp sets that I featured for my Christmas class in August before the wedding. But I've got these. Oh, I haven't put them on a magnetic sheet yet. But here are the dies. So there's a couple. A lot of the dies do is they punch out those little holes, little designs in the paper, so that whatever you put in behind shines through. So there's these little snowflakes. There's this this whole band. There's this swirly thing. Circle, the snowflake, and then there's 3 dies that cut out for your sentiments. Okay, so those are all the dies. And then there's this, so there's one of them cut out. I'll show you them. Anyway, I'm going to put those away for now. So there's that one. And then this is just paper that I have that I was playing with. So this shows you what that looks like. And normally this middle circle doesn't come out. So you use the other die to cut out the middle of the circle. So there's that. And then there's this paper. And this paper is called Lights Aglow. So you can see I've cut those out. And I've used the stylish shape dies to do that. And it comes in cherry cobbler. And it's really pretty. And it comes with all this paper. One side has the pretty gold that comes through. And then it also comes in soft succulent and evening evergreen. So really pretty paper, I think. So I wanted the paper to be the star of the show. And then see the bouquet on the other side. I'm not going to show you every single piece, but it's quite versatile. I really love, oh yeah, that's nice too. So you get something that's clean and crisp, and then you get the elegant with the gold. So depending on what you like, you can use whichever side you want. So that's the paper. So I cut a bunch out, and it goes really well with the distressed gold. And so I have some here that I put together. This is the distressed gold, and see, I used a piece from the back because I wanted to use as much as I could. So I'm going to put some cards together, and you'll see how nice it looks. And before we get started, the paper it's right here on page 82, and it's called Lights Aglow 159535. And then here it is in the catalog. It's part of the Lights Aglow suite. And I don't have the whole thing. And I didn't even look at here for any inspiration, which made it a little bit more difficult for me. I don't have the Christmas lights stamp, but I do have the Brightest Glow here, and those are the dies that go with it. So let's have a look and see what I have done with it. And the thing I wanted to show you first before I do anything else is that, I don't know if you guys have seen this in the catalog, but this is our new embossing tray, and it comes with the tray with a little funnel. So this comes off, and then you can funnel all your embossing powder right back into your embossing pot, which is awesome. It comes with a brush to clean out your tray, and it comes with a super heavy duty pair of tweezers. So what I like to do is I like to hold my thing while I'm embossing, and then you don't burn your fingers. It's great for that. It's great for picking things up. And then lastly, it comes with an embossing buddy. Now I had an embossing buddy, so I almost didn't buy this because I thought I don't need another embossing buddy. But this one's 2 times as thick as the one I have, because the other one I've had for a long time, and then you do use it up. Now I want to show you, the proof is in the pudding, because you're thinking, why do I need an embossing buddy? Well, I'm going to show you the difference. I have two things, one with embossing buddy, one without. Because I was embossing and I'm a lazy stamper, okay? So look at the difference. I'm going to lift them up a little bit. The one on the left, I used an embossing buddy, and the one on the right, I did not. And there's little extra bits in behind. It's thicker. It's just made it a big difference. I'm trying to show you something else without here. No embossing buddy. Look at the little speckles around the Merry Christmas. So the embossing buddy in here too. I should have done it. I wasted my time because I don't like it when it's messy looking. Here's another one. It's just not pretty. Let me see if I can get up close. You see all those speckles in the background? If you use your embossing buddy, you won't get that. So highly recommend it. And now we're going to get started. Oh, the other thing I did with that distressed gold paper, look at the leaf dies. Isn't that pretty with the antique gold? Well, it's distressed gold, I think it's called. I call it antique gold, but very, very beautiful. So stick with me as we make about 5 cards together. I also used this embossing folder, the snowflake one, and this one here. So let's start with this card here. So I have a very vanilla base, and then we're just going to layer the pieces together. And I was playing around with what worked and what didn't work. So I used layering circles dies and the stylish shape dies because they all layer very well with the Lights Aglow dies. There's just really pretty patterns that you don't want to cover up. And so layering different size circles and shapes together, it really helps. Okay, it's not perfect, but that's all right. So for example, I didn't want to cover up this whole circle with all the little dots. And I did cut out too much, but you know what? I'm making it work. And I thought it was nice to have some embossed detail on the bottom. I didn't want it to be plain. So, and I wanted a nice edge of the distressed gold along each side. And then this is going to cover it. That's from the paper and a stitched stylish shaped die. I'm going to put that in the middle. So Thanksgiving in the Netherlands. Thanksgiving is a North American holiday. It is not celebrated in Europe because Thanksgiving was celebrated when the Pilgrims first came on the Mayflower in the 1700s to the States. And they survived that first winter with the help of the Native Americans, and that's how Thanksgiving was born. So in Europe, they didn't have that tradition. I'm sure they have other celebrations, but not our Thanksgiving. And Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving in the second weekend of October, whereas the Americans, it's the last weekend in November. So that's the difference there. And then this is just embossed with gold. Super cute. And did I want to do a leaf there? I don't think so. Let me just look. No, not the leaf on this one. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to try to do a Thanksgiving dinner for my Dutch friends. I wanted to roast a turkey, and I wanted to make some pie because they don't have pie in the Netherlands. You cannot buy a traditional pie plate in the Netherlands. Only tart pans with straight edges. So I now have 2 pie plates in Holland. But the turkey was key, okay? Without the turkey, there couldn't be. So there are no turkeys in the grocery store. So I went to the butcher and said, I'd like to order a turkey. Oh, look at this. I'm really cheap with this paper. I only have 1 pack and I don't want to order any more. So I cut some pieces out with the die, and then I realized that all my little openings didn't have gold behind, so I did a patchwork underneath to make it work. It's pretty bad, isn't it? Just going to take that off. So that's what I did because I want all those little holes. Let me just put that above here. See, so here's that swirly one, and then I did 5 snowflakes, and then that's the border one at the top. So then putting the distressed gold underneath looks really nice. But not if there's no gold, because I was trying to be cheap and use everything. So anyway, I went to the butcher and asked if I could order a turkey. And the answer was, yes, you can order a turkey. How big would you like it to be? And I thought, well, the recipe that I had was for a 12-pound turkey, up to 12 pounds. So that's not a very big turkey, right? And she goes, so I said a 12-pound turkey. She goes, oh, that big. And I said, well, actually, that's not a really big turkey for a Canadian. Oh, I'm now making a mess. Um, Let me do the bottom corners first. So I thought, well, I thought before I commit to this, I said, well, what would the price be? Well, it was 17.95 a pound. That's euros, okay? So I figured, I did the math, and I figured that my turkey was going to cost me $160 Canadian. Well, I decided to wait with the turkey. So you can see my patchwork quilt in the back here. That was just too much. Like, I mean, I like a turkey, but not that much. If at that price, I would rather eat a prime rib. So the turkey project got put on hold. We did find then, Gerard did a little bit of research, and there's an expat shop in The Hague, and they sold frozen turkeys, maybe a little bit smaller, and it was 40 euros for a small turkey. So that's like 55, 60 bucks. I thought, okay, that's doable. So that's my base. And then I'm layering, oh goodness, what was I layering here? I'm gonna have to figure that out. Okay. Okay, I figured out what I was supposed to be doing here. I am gonna use the Let Your Heart Be Light, even though it's not perfect. We're just gonna embrace the imperfection. So lots of layers here because I want to use the gold, and it's really super beautiful. And I've discovered you cannot stamp well on this paper. Even embossing is a little bit tricky. So if you do like on this gold paper, oh, I should move that there. I'll show you what it looks like. I tried to stamp, and it's kind of, yeah, a little blotchy because it doesn't stick well. So even when I stamped it and then clear embossed, it does. If you like the idea of it, like you can still read what it says. It just looks a little vintagey. So that's up to you. But it does combine really well with fairy vanilla rather than white. And that's because the paper, the starry paper, is also very vanilla. So I'm combining, the dies I used for this are the layering circles dies. And you could pop certain parts of it up. So I'm going to put this flat and then pop up the Let Your Heart Be Light. So the dies do add a certain je ne sais quoi, the little dot. It reminds me of the paper lanterns that you make. And then you poke holes and then the design shows through. So that might be a cool idea to do, actually, to make a little tea light lantern with this paper or with these dies. Maybe that's what I'll do next. Like that thought just suddenly came to me, and I think that would be really nice. And craft paper with gold. Anyway, if you do make it, let me see. Let me see what you do. So that's just going to be popped up. And then the question is, do we want a bow or not a bow? Some people love bows, and other people are thinking bows are a little old fashioned and we shouldn't have them anymore. I'm not sure, but I'm going to put one on. And I just like to use a glue dot. This paper, this ribbon is part of the suite. And what is it called? Um, Gold satin edged ribbon. It's really pretty. So I could have done a piece in behind, but then only a wee little piece is showing. I'm going to do that on one of the other cards. So this card is going to get a bow, and then you guys can tell me, you can vote for yes, a bow, or no, a bow. So just push it right onto the glue dot, pull it off, and then there we go. It is really pretty, actually. So that's card number 2. So we're changing it a little bit, but you see how the circular design, I do like this one better, I think, but this one is not, the light isn't catching it quite right. I'm trying to get the embossed houses at the bottom. It's quite pretty. Okay, so the next one is going to be with the green paper, and that gives you a totally different look. And then I thought a leaf, even though The reason I did a leaf is that for Christmas baking, sometimes you do gold leafing on like a chocolate cake or something or on a Yule log. So I thought, you know what? I like the idea of the leaf. So I cut the center out of that just because I was trying to layer. So I did that and I'll use it for something else because it's going to get covered anyway. So, you can stretch your paper and make it last a little bit longer by doing that. So yeah, the turkey in the Netherlands is probably not going to work. And then I found out too that a lot of times Gerard was telling me that there was a butcher in a nearby town and he did really well selling turkeys at Christmas time. But what he did was he sold them already cooked. So people would go through a drive-through, pick up their turkey, and it was already cooked. So I said, well, how did that work? I said, did they come like already like hot, like a rotisserie chicken? No, 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 they were cooked, but they were cold. I said, oh, well, that ruins the whole thing. I said, then you've got to heat up a turkey and it's going to be dry. So I didn't think that that was great. But the other problem with doing a turkey, Gerard's oven is too small. Most people, a lot of people in Holland, many people don't even have an oven. And if they do, it's a combination microwave and oven, and it's too small to cook a turkey in. So just to find a turkey pan is already quite the quite the thing. So, do I want that one? No, I can't remember what I had going here. And then this, and then this. Okay, we've got it. So yeah, the things that, and I thought, you know what, it's just going to be a Canadian tradition until we move and I get a bigger oven. And then we'll see what we can do. So we're going to put that in the middle. And then this one across. So these labels don't have to be used for sentiment. You can use them just as a design element. There. The stitching is beautiful on these dies. Then I just stamped the Merry Christmas in Cherry Cobbler. I mean, it looks great embossed as well. And maybe I should have popped this up, but I didn't. It's too late for it now. It would be a cheaper card to mail. And then I thought I would just, I don't know if I want to tuck it. Oh no, it looks nice. I'll pop up the leaf. How's that? That way we've done some popping. I lost my dimensionals. How was that possible? I know I'm not the only one who loses things. I know that you guys also misplace things on your desk. See, I just put it far out of the way. It's here. So I'm going to do 2 dimensionals on this leaf. And I know I should have made another fall card, but maybe tomorrow. It's just nice. I find it really, once you get in the flow of using something, it yeah, you get more creative. So that's pretty. I really like that. Lots of gold going on in the paper and then repeated in the leaf and the little design. And then I thought we would do a more simple card. I have this one, and this is a narrow embossing folder, so it doesn't do a full card front. So I was toying with the idea of, let's see, of doing 2 strips down the side of the paper. But when I looked at it, I thought it was too busy. See, first I had it going the other way, like so. And then I was going to put, yeah, I wasn't sure where. I wanted to keep it simple because I absolutely adore the snowflakes. So I thought, well, maybe a season's greetings like this one, but except not in black, but in gold. Let me see if I can find it. So look at the difference. Here it is in black, and that just it's too loud. It's like shouting. And then here it is in gold. See, and to repeat those long, skinny things, I thought, well, that's okay. I don't mind it. But when I took it away, it was much more peaceful, just having it in plain, very vanilla. And then I thought, I'll turn it around. And maybe, just maybe, I wasn't sure, with a strip like this, and then like that. Or a piece of gold, and then this over top. And just a little bit of the the gold paper. And I thought, yes, that's nice. And it's just really simple, but pretty. And then, I don't know, this is what it looks like if you use that vintage Merry Christmas. And that looks kind of cool too. Actually, I like that a lot. So I'm going to trim this. So that's what I mean. You have your elements and you play with them and you decide. This is a European size card, so I'm going at 10.5 centimeters. But if you were using North American, you would go 4.25 inches. Okay. So we're going to put that across. And I love the narrowness of it. But yeah, my thing is my modus operandi is to just to scatter all my stuff on my desk, the paper, everything that I'm working with, and then I do a bunch of die cuts, and I lay things out, and I try to play with what looks the nicest. And sometimes I'm surprised, like just now. And we're going to put this one across. And the gold, which was a surprise to me. See, so now there's only a wee little bit of that star paper showing, but it's just enough to make it interesting. And then we're going to pop that one up. I'm going to use my strips that I have left over, my dimensionals. And you know what? The sun is doing its tricks again. So I'm going to change the placing of my desk so that we don't run into the same problems as yesterday. So yesterday I was not on YouTube because I wanted to do a Facebook Live, but I've discovered that the internet is not strong enough to do that. So I'm going to have to stick with recorded videos and come up with something else. Because I know you guys love the Facebook Lives and I understand it. I do too. There. So that's that one, just simple. And then I have another one. This is the last card, okay? And I'm using the square stylish shapes dies. And then this shows you that you can use white and vanilla. So what I did with this one is I ran that embossing folder through twice and you can't even see where I did it. So that's good to know. Okay, it's still going. All right, awesome. And so that's cute. Just, you know, you can use your scraps. Then a little bit goes a long way for that distressed gold. It's a great pairing with this paper. So if you want it, order it before it sells out. I haven't checked to see if it's on low inventory or not. No, I think I'm going to pop this up just for a change. And I was going to do something else with the ribbon and I didn't. Maybe we'll see if ribbon will look nice under this one. So I was thinking to do it like so, and then with this going across. I think the ribbon might be too much. It's funny because I was going to do a card with ribbon going across. Let's see, where did I put the ribbon? Let's have a look. So what I would do is put the ribbon underneath like so, and then join it here with a glue dot so that you would see it in the inside of the card, but with no bow. But that means there's only a little bit showing on either side. And then this might cover it. Well, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I have this, and then it's going to be hiding underneath that square, so it doesn't even have to meet. There. And then glue dot. And I'm just going to use my pick-me-up tool, like so, and put it on the end of the glue dot. And that's going to go here. Pull it tight. And then that one's going to go. See, I could have even made it shorter. I don't like wasting ribbon. Ribbon is not cheap, but it's nice. Some people think, oh, well, I don't need a whole spool. Well, I'm thinking, you know what? Get the whole spool, live lavishly, and then you'll use it with abandon. There we go. And now, Now this is going to go on there. And it's nice because when you open the card up, you'll see the ribbon in the inside. So there. And then just a note, I want to do it so that you see, oh no, it's not going to work. If I do it that way, you still see a little bit of the ribbon. And I'm not going to pop this up. I'm just going to put glue a little bit on one side. Like so, yeah. And then I see the ribbon. I like that. So that's a really pretty card too, I think. So I could do more. I'm just going to pause it for a second. So I just want to summarize the cards that we made, and then at the very end I'm going to show you one more card because I found some pieces on my desk and I thought, oh, this could be cute. So that means we have 6 cards in like not that much time. So it does combine really well with that snowflake embossing, doesn't it? So they're actually quite clean and simple cards, but the gold sparkle, the distressed gold paper, the gold embossing just makes it really beautiful. So there's 1, 2, 3. See, and now you can see the houses at the bottom, and you could maybe go over it with a blending brush to make it stand out a little bit more. And then we've got 4 with the stamping and embossing on the distressed gold. And then we have 5 using the evening evergreen paper and the embossed leaf. So that leaf I'm going to show you is from the Perched in a Tree. And then I found another vanilla base on my table, and I found this piece of evening evergreen. And then this is the piece I showed you to show the embossing. And then I thought we could tie the ribbon around. So it's a clean and simple card. I'm just going to lift it up because the sun just keeps changing. But isn't that pretty? So a clean and simple card. It's wonderful. And if you wanted to step it up, you could do this. Let's see. I'm just going to tie this. I'm not putting this card together because I still have to trim that piece of green. I just want to show you what I was thinking of. So there's a bow. Slide that over to the one side, and then pop up this square. See, and now it's kind of cool. It adds to the festivity of it. Anyway, I'll let you know what I do with that card. And then yesterday, my video went kind of awry. I was using this as well. So these are the 2 leaf dies that I use for the gold leaves. And it cuts and it embosses at the same time. So that's really cool. And this is from Perched in a Tree. And then these were the cards. This one with the, it's time for a cardigan, which is cute. And then here's the other one with the gnomes, the gnome paper. So it's amazing what you can do. And then the paper in the back of this leaf one with the sweater, it's that Lights Aglow paper as well. And this one all has the storybook gnomes paper. So I will have the links that you can click in the bottom. If you click on the show more, then you will get all the links to shop in my store in Canada. And I'll also have the link for the European market. So anyway, guys, this was great. I'm so glad that you joined me today. And what do you think of my haircut? It's quite a lot shorter, but it's a lot curlier. So I'm really happy about that. It'll be easier to take care of. Happy stamping. I hope to get a newsletter out so that you guys can sign up for my card class in December. So I come home every 3 months, and when I come home, I like to do a retreat with my team. And there might be some spots available for customers because not that many team members can make it. So if you want to go on a 4-day retreat, send me a message and I will give you all the details. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to stamp. There's going to be prizes. There's going to be good food. There's going to be some day trips. It's the December 16th to the 19th, I believe. Something like that, right before Christmas. Just a nice time to get away and relax and have fun with some women. So, anyway, have a super day. Happy stamping, and thanks for joining me today. Bye.